Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the first Dharma Family Service in October. We would like to begin our service with Sutra chanting, and we will chant Juseige, and the words will appear on the screen. Namandam, 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 namandam. Kansho segan hishimu jodo shigan fumanzok seifu joshogak gaomunyoko fuidai seshu Fusai shobingu seifu joshogak gashi jobutsudo myosho chojippo kukyomi shomon seifu joshogak ryokujin shonen Joe Shubongyo Shigumu Jodo Isho Tenin Shi Jinniki Endai Ko Fushomu Saido
少女三苦名、交際集約難、回避知恵言、滅死根も安、閉塞小悪道、通達全宗門、高僧上満足、異様の実法、日月主樹期、天候音符言、一種解放像、公正功徳法、上王大集中、説法四四苦、供養一切仏、具足修徳本、元年出上満、徳意三害用、如仏無下地、通達未不詳、願学エリク、都市最小尊、志願役国家、大仙王感動、国書天人、東鎮妙見。ナモ阿弥陀仏。ナモ阿弥陀仏。ナモ阿弥陀仏。ナモ阿弥陀仏。ナモ阿弥陀仏。ナモ阿弥陀仏。願にしく徳、平等性祭、道本菩提心、往生安楽。
Namandab, 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 namandab. Okay, thank you. Let's now recite the three treasures, and the words will appear on the screen. The three treasures. Hard is it to be born into human life, now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the Buddha Dharma, now we hear it. If we do not deliver ourselves in the present life, no hope is there that we shall be freed from suffering and sorrow in the ocean of birth and death. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of your way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves your supreme will. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord in your life of harmony, in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriad ages of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Naman Butsu. Naman. Okay, good morning once again, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today for our Dharma Family Service. A couple of things. I kind of want to take us back to the beginning. We could maybe call it that. And then zoom right up to just a couple days ago. Okay. As far as going back to the beginning, it's not the true beginning, but, back in September 1st, actually, I think I mentioned that was my 25th anniversary of moving out to Berkeley to attend the Institute of Buddhist Studies, to become a minister. That's what was the plan, and it worked, right? You can see me here now. And so I'm in this time, wow, 25 years ago. Now I can tell you that's a little less than half of my life, because yesterday I turned 51. So it was my birthday yesterday, and 51 years old now. The big 50 was last year, right? Now it's I'm in this second half of century, right, of my life. And then a quarter century ago of moving out here, I had encountered Buddhism about 30 years ago now. And it took me, several years of investigating and learning as much as I could. And, a lot of stuff just kind of happening. And so I've been thinking back, right, that, like I say, I've really had over half my life as a Buddhist. I wasn't brought up Buddhist. I later found out my mom's family in Japan is Buddhist, but Soto Zen, not Jodo Shinshu, so a different sect. And my mom had converted to Christianity. And so for me, becoming Buddhist was, big thing in my life. And, I've been thinking back to 25 years ago, 30 years ago, that 5-year period after encountering Buddhism and then actually moving out here. I've been kind of thinking about that time and trying to remember, right? Trying to remember those early days as a Buddhist, trying to remember what I went through as I became Buddhist, right? It's interesting, this idea of being Buddhist, becoming Buddhist, right? Some people are Buddhist basically when they're born, or, Hatsumairi, they come to the temple for the first time as a baby, right? And then start going to Dharma school. And so they grow up Buddhist. I didn't, right? I encountered it basically in college when it really hit me for the first time. So I've been kind of thinking back to that time. And, what interested me, it was just fascinating. I don't remember a lot of specifics, to be honest. 25 years ago, 30 years ago, it's kind of a long time. And, learning as much as I could, reading a lot of books. There wasn't a temple nearby me. I was in Massachusetts. The closest one was New York, as far as a Jodo Shinshu temple. I went to some other Buddhist centers and, tried to figure out what I could, but it's not always easy, right? And so thinking back, and I was really into it. And I remember feeling like I'm not ready. I'm not good enough to become Buddhist. And it was because I was working at Starbucks at the time. I was playing in a band, but my job was Starbucks, like my day job, right? And Starbucks is not an easy job. If you go to Starbucks a lot, please understand, it's not easy being behind the counter. It's not easy making espresso drinks, especially when there's a big line of people and you're trying to slam out these drinks, right? It's really high stress, actually. Working with food, I really appreciate people in the food service industry. I learned from my Starbucks experience, I don't want to work in food ever again, if at all possible, right? Just because it's a huge responsibility, right? And that you got to do it right, and so I remember being frustrated with customers sometimes, maybe frustrated with coworkers. I don't know how much I ever really got angry, but it was stressful, right? It was not easy. And I knew that I must have been aware of the 3 poisons at that point and understood a little bit about attachment, desire, right? And also anger. Right? And understanding that as Buddhists, or thinking I understood, right, that as a Buddhist, maybe I'm not supposed to get angry, right? Maybe I'm not supposed to have desires, but I still have this stuff. So I don't think I can be Buddhist. I'm not ready. I'm not good enough, was what I was thinking. Little did I know, I don't think I was right in my thinking, right? But anyway, so a big experience that happened to me was going to visit the New York Buddhist temple. There's a Jodo Shinshu temple in New York City, in Manhattan. And I had a friend who lived down there. So I went to visit my friend and went to check out the temple, went in unannounced, for a Sunday service. And, so you sit there and there's other people around and, do all these people come every week? You don't know, right? Because you're there all by yourself and you've never met any of these people. It was actually the second time I'd been to a temple. The first time was Palo Alto, right? And that's when the spark first went off. So now it's like digging a little bit deeper. And so you go to a temple like we did today, Sutra chanting, 3 treasures, right? And we do these recitations. And so I had the book and following along. I don't remember if someone helped me or not, and reading along. And I take refuge in Buddha. I take refuge in Dharma. I take refuge in Sangha. Wait. What? What did I just do? What did I just say? I just took refuge. I just recited the 3 treasures, the triple refuge, right? And oh no, am I Buddhist now? What have I done? I'm not ready. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy, right? It was really interesting. I just, I didn't realize what we were reciting and until after we said it. And after having said it, I realized, wow, I just took refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. I talked about that a few weeks ago, and I've talked about it earlier. It's one of the core things of Buddhism, right? Buddha, whether Shakyamuni or Amida Buddha, the teacher, but also the truth, the Dharma, right? The teachings, but also the truth, true reality. Although I wasn't so aware of this at the time, the Sangha, the community, right? And I don't remember how much I really understood about those things, but I understood the significance, or I felt an incredible significance to me. And I realized, wow, okay, I did it. I'm going to have to try to be nicer at work, right? I'm going to have to try and master my desires and attachments. And I remember having that kind of feeling of, okay, I guess I'm in it for the long haul. And it was something I wanted to do. I'd been studying it so much, reading about it, not studying it so much, but learning as much as I could. And so, it was like, wow, okay, I took refuge. Now, I learned a lot. I've learned a lot since then. Right. And I didn't understand Jodo Shinshu at that time. And, I moved out to Berkeley. I remember getting rid of a lot of my possessions before I left, flying out. I remember the plane flight out to Berkeley was exciting and scary. Right. And then going to Institute of Buddhist Studies, and over the following months and years, realizing, whoa, this is kind of different than I thought. I guess I'm not going to purify myself and never get angry again and never have any desires. I've actually found, no, that is who I am. I am desire and attachment. I am filled with anger at certain times, beyond my control. Right? I am filled with ignorance, so much ignorance. I do not see things as they really are. Hopefully I get glimpses every now and again. Hopefully I have times when, I feel like I have changed a lot, but mastering my desires, right? Or getting rid of the 3 poisons I learned is maybe not necessarily the way. So, I call it in the 3 Bs, I call it be yourself. Reverend Dr. Matsumoto calls it authenticity in his AAA life, right? So there's a part of Jodo Shinshu of being yourself, becoming your true self, becoming your foolish self, maybe as Honen puts it. And that's something I'm still learning, still trying to deepen in my life. But that being yourself is in the context of 6 paramitas, Eightfold Path, right? These things that we learn, trying to be aware of the 3 poisons, right? All these deep Buddhist teachings about how to live are a part of that be yourself. Right? It's not in a vacuum. So that's early on. Some of the stuff I've learned now. Now let's fast forward to Friday. On Friday, I had something to do with a family, and it was a family that's not regular Buddhist members. And so I was thinking, what for the talk? I want to give a really short talk. What could I talk about? Should I do 3 Bs or AAA life? And then I realized, wait, I got a new one. I came up with a new acronym. Ready? I almost hate to do it, right? I hate to come up with a new one, but I like this one. AKA, right? Also known as awareness, kindness, and appreciation, right? Awareness, kindness, and appreciation. And you've been hearing these in different formulations, right? That the awareness we can find in AAA Life, and the 3 Bs is the first one, be aware. The kindness is the friendship of fun from Reverend Sugahara, right? Or be kind in the 3 Bs. And then the appreciation is from AAA Life, right? So those, the AAA Life, fun, and the 3 Bs, you can look at old Dharma talks if you want to hear more about those, right? But each one is missing some stuff, right? And so this AKA one is missing the Nembutsu from fun, right? And Nembutsu is so important. That's what we recited in the sutra chanting. I forgot to announce, right? The standard traditional sutra chanting just says Namandabu, Namandabu. And I always thought, I wonder how many people know that that is Namo Amida Butsu. In Japanese, in the sutra book, it says Namandabu in hiragana, and then the kanji Namo Amida Butsu is there. So in Japanese, you see Namo Amida Butsu for each one. But we don't see that if you just have Romaji in the book. So I did a version of chanting where instead of saying Namandabu at the end, like we did, Namo Amida Butsu. So important in Shinshu, saying Buddha's name. I take refuge in Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Butsu. Now the AKA is also missing the authenticity or the be yourself, but it's okay, right? None of these are going to capture everything. The only thing that captures everything is Namo Amida Butsu, the name. Right? So I was proud of myself. I don't know if you can tell. Pretty good for 51, huh? Or 50 going on 51 when I came up with this. It just hit me, right? AKA, easy to remember. I hope that the family, right? They repeated it after, after the talk was done. They're like, oh yeah, AKA, that's pretty good. So, oh good, you remember, also known as, right? We know that, AKA. But then, okay, put it together. It's kind of like Grandpa delivers pizza every Monday and Wednesday, right? AKA, okay. Awareness, trying to be aware of my thoughts, my speech, my actions, right? Trying to be aware of others and my impact on others, trying to be aware of Buddha's teachings, right? Trying to be mindful of all these different things. It's a lot, right? It covers a lot. But to remember, awareness, okay, awareness. Yeah, got to try to be aware. Kindness, so important. That's so just, it's not easy, right? But as an ideal, as a value, that kindness is good. It can backfire, but I think just basically don't attach to it too much, right? And kindness can actually be used to oppress others. And, there anything, I think Buddhism recognizes anything can be twisted around. But, for the most part, kindness, just being kind to others, how hard is that? Well, it's not easy, huh? But to hold that as an ideal, and then appreciation. Right? That's the big one that to me is missing from my 3 Bs, right? This gratitude, really important part of Jodo Shinshu, right? Realizing how much we receive, realizing that I don't exist alone in a vacuum. I only exist because of others. Right? And I'm going to talk about that in a future Dharma talk, and it's in one of my Bushian articles. So, AKA awareness, kindness, appreciation. How did you encounter Buddhism? Right? What does Buddhism mean to you? Do you consider yourself Buddhist? Have you always considered yourself Buddhist? Do you think you're a good Buddhist or a bad Buddhist? Right? I realized maybe that's not what it's about. Maybe it's not about trying to be a perfect Buddhist, right? Maybe it's something different, right? That I may never erase all my desires or never, I will get angry again, right? But that's okay, right? We just have to be in this process, right? Trying to live these teachings, but trying also to be authentic. So thank you, everyone. October, my favorite month, because it's my birthday. I don't know. That's maybe why I like fall, right? And we're having our last little blast of summer, right? It's not that hot, but it's been pretty warm. So enjoy it. And thank you very much for joining us. And why don't we conclude the Dharma talk with Kansho. Thinking back on my life from 25 years ago to a couple of days ago to this moment, right? AKA also known as awareness, kindness, and appreciation. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda. Namanda. Okay, thank you. And now let's turn it over to Robert Noguchi for announcements.
Thank you, Sensei. Nice to see everyone. Good morning, everyone. Let's see, okay. But now that fall is kind of in full swing, there's just a lot of stuff going on now. It's just amazed looking at the list of activities and seminars going on. But I guess first I want to announce that the Shotsuki service for October is already available on YouTube, and you see the email message from earlier for this morning's service. The Shotsuki link is right here in the middle. Okay. So, and moving on to things that are on the BCO website, Keidokai is coming up. I guess it's next week, Sunday, October 10th. So we're doing a call out, and we'd like to honor those who have turned 75 this past year, as well as the ones that are already 75. Please join us for our Keidokai service. It'll be next Sunday, October 10th at 10 a.m. Okay, and this flyer and other information is on the BCO website. Turning to the BCA website, there's a bunch of stuff going on. Let me go ahead and page through it very quickly. The first thing is Saturday, October 16th, which is in 2 weeks, the Jodo Shinshu Modernity, Introducing Transformations in the 20th and 21st Centuries. And this will be given by Dr. Galen Amstutz, who's an adjunct faculty member of the Institute of Buddhist Studies and an author of Interpreting Amida, History and Orientalism in the Study of Pure Land Buddhism. That'll be happening on Saturday, October 16th, from 11 to 1, I believe. Yeah, 11 a.m. to 1. Okay. The next item is Transforming the Barriers of Race and Racism, Building Solidarity Among Communities. And this will be the third annual Buddhist community gathering hosted by the Vista Buddhist Temple down in San Diego area to discuss the issue. This featured speakers, Reverend Duncan Ryukin Williams and Reverend Yoke Kane Barrett, who's the bishop, I guess, of the Nichiren sect, Order of North America. And Reverend Blaine Higa, who some of you know, he's from Hawaii. He's an Institute of Buddhist Studies graduate. And I believe he was featured in Tricycle or Buddha Dharma. One of those magazines had a feature article about him. I happened to see it in a bookstore the other day. So registration is free. This is August, also on October 16th. 1 to 3 p.m. Pacific time. Okay, so you can register for that. The next item is CBE, the Center for Buddhist Education through the Buddhist Churches of America Seminar Online for All, otherwise called the SOFA series. And this will be in Japanese. This will be on Saturday, October 23rd from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., featuring guest speaker Reverend Dr. Mutsumi Wondra from the Orange County Buddhist Church, and she's also a graduate of the Institute of Buddhist Studies. So that'll be in Japanese on the 23rd. Coming up that same weekend, Sunday, October 24th, there'll be an online event. It's called Kansho, the Coast District Nembutsu Virtual Family Conference, presented by the Watsonville Buddhist Temple and Coast District. And actually, Reverend Bridge will be the guest speaker for that. That'll be October 24th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And the information is on the BCA website. And the last item I want to cover is 3 Poisons in Our Life, which will be Saturday, October 30th. Shin Buddhist Approach to Dealing with 3 Poisons, lecture and discussion by our Bishop of the BCA, Reverend Marvin Hamrata. Talking about greed, anger, and so that'll be 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday, October 30th, another online event through the Center for Buddhist Education. That's all I have. I'll go ahead and turn it back over to Sensei. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Robert. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. And this will conclude our service. So why don't we conclude with one more time, reciting the Nembutsu, Amida Buddha's name. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda. Namanda. Okay, thank you.